Victoria's Secret is making a comeback. They announced that they're doing a campaign called the Icon campaign. They're bringing back a bunch of models that came from their era, the 90s and the 2000s, back when, you know, body positivity and forced inclusivity and fat acceptance wasn't a factor. And they were making a lot more money back then. They started losing money and they realized, oh shit, we actually need to appeal to our base, which is women who want an aspirational thing to look at when they are buying products. So they brought back Gisele Bündchen, Adriana Lima, Candice Swanepoel, Hailey Bieber and Emrata are also on this campaign. I have no idea why. And Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell is evil, but I'm not going to say that she's not an icon like she obviously is. They also didn't bring back Heidi Klum. They didn't bring Tyra Banks on, which is, it seems like a missed opportunity. And you're giving it to Emily Ratatouille and Hailey Bieber. I just don't think that they belong in it.
Oh, he's saying that they made out in Ace Ventura. They didn't have sex in Ace Ventura.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess that makes sense. She wouldn't have had the surgery.
Okay.
Keep going.
Well, I just, you know, told you guys that this is happening. Okay. So people are talking about this because, I mean, they're bringing back all these thin models and they're not getting the backlash that was expected. One person said, I'm fascinated by how Victoria's Secret is featuring skinny models again and now receiving praise instead of backlash, or at least less backlash than there usually would be. But since the concept is icons and they're bringing back models from peak Victoria's Secret era, I don't see why there would be backlash.
No Tyra Banks?
I feel like they can't bring Tyra. I feel like they can't bring her back because of all the stuff that keeps surfacing.
Toxic for her behavior on America's Next Top Model, and I'm like, yeah, this is like trashing or canceling Gordon Ramsay for being mean to the chefs on Hell's Kitchen. It almost seems a little bit sexist. Yep. Like, the point of the show is that she is like putting these girls through the ringer to see who has the most dedication and the most drive. That was the point of the show. They knew what they were getting into from the very start.
Yep. And when you are in an industry of about appearances in your body, like, it is absurd. I don't know. Sorry, I was reading through this article. I wonder though too, like, you know, there's obviously they're icons. A lot of them are a little bit, you know, like they're middle-aged women, a little bit older. And I think that's probably a big reason for the applause, because these, you know, older women they're older, they're hot. Like, and that's
you're allowed.
Yeah, is it cool. Like you're allowed to be thin and hot because you were grandfathered in from that era when we cared about beauty standards, but we can't have younger models getting a start that are also like fit that beauty standard?
Right.
I guess, you know, Hailey Bieber and Emrata, they count, but I find Emrata extremely annoying. Mm-hmm. And Hailey Bieber is a Nepo baby. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, wasn't Victoria's Secret in trouble for a while because of like they had like one of their CEOs was connected to Epstein or something like that?
Yeah, their old CEO Les Wexner had close ties to Epstein. But look, they're bringing back Naomi Campbell, who was on Epstein's flight logs like 5 times. Never saw an explanation for that.
Yep.
I didn't Still asking for one.
Well, we're never.
We'll never know. No one's ever going to ask.
It does feel like there has to be some type of offset for any type of thing like this. So it's like you can be thin and hot, but you have to also be old.
Yeah.
You have to be old.
It's not like they look bad for their age.
No, they look great.
They look amazing
for
their age. I'm just saying, like, they've pulled the ladder up from under them for younger girls to come up in the modeling industry who don't have some kind of boost. Like Hailey Bieber. I mean, she's literally a Baldwin.
Yep.
That's why she's in this campaign. And
that's why she's in there. They're like, she's like, let me in or I'm going to sick Alec on you. And then you're going to end up getting mysteriously shot on the set of a movie. Yeah. And that would be bad.
But I think that like young girls who are the customer base for Victoria's Secret miss how it was when they were growing up. Even like when I was growing up, it hasn't been that long since the culture went insane. It happened relatively recently, and they don't want you to remember that. But like, it was in the 2000s that this was at its peak, and the Victoria's Secret fashion show was happening. And now, like, that's coming back this year too. They announced that. when it shut down in 2019 because their sales were like so low. The ratings for this fashion show were so low, and because they had been sabotaging themselves.
3.3 million is still pretty good for a live event. Like, it's not the five. They said it was like 5.5 million the year, or 5.5 million the year before that.
Well, they say they're bringing back a new version of it, which I don't know what that means. If it's going to be like not as fun and glittery as it was before, what's even the point? If you're going to make it forced diversity throughout the entire thing, what is the point? I'm sorry, like, I don't care about seeing a model with vitiligo, check. A model in a wheelchair, check. I don't know, like a medically short model, check. Like, I don't have a checklist like that. It's just for women who want to see these products modeled on women who are aspirational.
But we were just talking the other day about the Hadids, right? They're pretty popular and thin. They're
also Nepo babies, to be honest.
Oh,
yeah, their mom.
There's nothing wrong with them. I mean, I'm just saying they did get propped up into the industry, and their moms from it as well. So that's the reason why they're famous. But I don't think that Gen Z women care about this like forced diversity as much as these executives seem to think they do. Because I just saw a bunch of TikToks talking about this.
I think it's millennials.
Yeah, one of these TikToks from a girl who looks like, I don't know, about my age. She said, I don't think the new Victoria's Secret show needs to be inclusive with their models. And, you know, they're like, oh, I think it's cool that they're doing different sizes and body types, but they need to look like angels. They can't just look like makeup-free, natural, bummy, like low effort, just to seem like, you know, we care about women's
every woman
self-acceptance and stuff like that. Like,
why must everything be inclusive?
You don't need to see yourself in everything.
Yeah. Like, I ask you. Like,
I certainly don't see myself when I go on the Victoria's Secret website and I see fat women modeling the lingerie that I think about buying. Like, I can't imagine that on myself because you don't look like me.
I would actually really love to see sales numbers from a website that uses like plus size models and stuff for like.
I mean, if it's specialized to that, it's probably higher.
But like when I'm going on, I can't even think of an example. I don't know. If I'm online shopping though, and there's like a regular woman, like a curvy woman, not a model, and she, you know, something is clearly ill fitting on her body, it does not make me want to buy that thing because I can't even see what it would look like.
Like, it's one thing if you want to show women with like a normal but higher than the average model's body fat percentage. Like, if she just has a normal amount of extra weight, she's not overweight. Yeah. That would be fine. But they had to take it to all the way to 100. They had to go there. And it's like, no, like, you could have done this in a sane, reasonable, measured way.
Yeah.
And instead you went to Lizzo. You went like past
I said
Lizzo.
Earlier, we as a society don't work well in the middle.
And then you started showing us the amputees, and you started doing the every other deformity you can think of. Like, how can we find as many people as possible who have something wrong with that?
There's a
like,
great
why?
It shows like it's a mannequin at Target advertising a Jaws tank top, and the mannequin is missing an arm. It's very clever. It's very clever.
Funny.
But like for me, I guess granted, I don't look at men's fashion shows, but I don't expect to see. If anything, it's actually kind of interesting because I do have a hard time finding like shirts that fit me because I'm sure like I wear longer shirts anyways, but like also I have wider shoulders for somebody who's as short as I am. So finding clothes that fit me was always difficult anyways, right? But I don't expect them to show me models that perfectly show what that would look like on a body like mine, nor do I look for any type of inspiration from any type of model on what I should look like because your style's your own. But I guess that's different for guys.
Yeah,
that's very different for guys. But I do feel bad for women who can't seem to win when it comes to these things, right? Like the women who were complaining before, I guess, had their own point. They're like, look, there's nothing that looks even remotely close to what I look like. And now the ones who were catered to before are not catered to at all. And it's like, there's no middle ground.
Yeah.
I mean, there are obviously still skinny models. That's why they have them in this campaign. But
well, I thought it was funny when Victoria's Secret first, you know, announced the whole woke thing. I mean, there was still on the website beautiful models,
right.
And I don't even remember really seeing Megan Rapinoe because remember she was one of them. I don't even remember seeing her, ads and stuff or like it was.
They make them.
clearly-
They just never put them out. They conveniently forget to hit send every time.
I wonder if they did.
They pay. They
It's
pay
very
people.
selective.
They pay
you
the
know.
guys. They're like,
But
only put
I
those out
do-
between 1 and 3 in the morning.
When I pull up the website, I do see fat women on the website. It's not that hard to find out.
Rick,
Like,
there's a $20 super chat here from Rick Bungle.
he said, I don't see myself represented by any of the Victoria's Secret models, whether they're plus sized or skinny or traditional underwear models.
I don't know if that's because you're a guy, or
Probably because he's a guy.
or if you're a woman
But
with a guy's
look,
name.
there are trans Victoria's Secret models.
Yep.
So maybe you can feel represented by them
Yeah.
because they're male. I saw another comment on Twitter that said Victoria's Secret angels are supposed to be beautiful, so it kind of sucks when they deviate from that because it defeats the whole point.
Yeah.
Someone angrily responded, "Fat people are also beautiful.
Wait.
Hope this helps."
What if we start doing what if they you know how you win? You go to Lane Bryant. You're like, when are you going to give me the inclusive skinny months? Like,
Oh yeah, when are they
hire
gonna start
some
including skinny women?
Hire some skinny women at Lane
At
Bryant.
Torrid.
I want to be here's the thing, guys. I'm 5'5". Very sure. I want to get hired as a model for Big and Tall stores because that's inclusive.
Because you don't feel seen
I don't
on
feel-
that
that's
website.
because all the stuff's above my
Okay.
head, right? So it's actually because they're looking over the top. I'm not high enough to see over the counter, but I want to be.
You're a short
promoted.
king.
Yes, I want to be seen and included in Big and Tall marketing pushes.
and
I want,
in the NBA.
and in the NBA,
and,
exactly. So there's a $20 super chat there from Nick.
he said, "Oh, I guess it was just
No message. Thank you.
Thanks."
Yeah, you, guess what? It's okay. You don't need to be seen in everything all the time. It's
Yeah.
not necessary.
I saw more tweets in this vein. One other said, "What are the chances that after years of trans models, fat models, ugly models, body positivity at all, the increase in interest rates is what sparked Victoria's Secret to finally remember they're in the hot chick business?"
That's really that's
We're
all
in a recession.
That's the only argument they ever needed to make. Like, look, we're in the hot chick business. You, my friend, are not that.
Do what you want to
That's-
do. But they also Abercrombie and Fitch, Bentley. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
That one scared me for some reason. That one got me.
Abercrombie and Fitch was all about making you feel like you shouldn't shop there. And it was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't experience that because I was a child.
It looked unattainable. Hollister was the same way. It looked like a club you weren't allowed into.
When I was
Yes. And you
5
couldn't
years
see it
old,
either.
I
They
would
were so
walk
dark.
past the Abercrombie and Fitch and smell the cologne.
Oh yes, that lives in my brain.
I dated a girl who worked at Hollister and Abercrombie.
So was
and-
she a model technically? Because I think
Or
they
was
had
she
to
one
be
of
hired
them
as
in the
models.
back room?
No,
She was a
she
shirt
sold
folder.
She sold things in the floor, and what she told me, this is her words, she said that to get hired at either of those stores, the unwritten rule was a manager had to meet you and say, yes, I would have sex with them. Like,
Wait, she was told that?
she's saying
The
that no, she
unwritten
worked. She worked there. She's saying that it's an unwritten rule, but everyone knew that to get hired there, when you went in for your meeting, if the manager didn't think you were hot enough to have sex with, you weren't getting the job.
I feel like I was a waitress at so many restaurants, teenage years, college, and stuff, and that's the rule there too. In the restaurant industry,
At
when
a
you're
mall,
a
you're
waitress.
literally hiring girls who are freshmen in high school.
Yes.
That's
what I would
that's
say,
weird.
what I remember from the Abercrombie craze was that a lot of times I think you had to technically be a model to be hired there.
Yeah, something like
something
that. But you
weird.
can't. I don't know. I don't remember seeing
That was how they were able to exclude ugly people from working there.
they would call them models.
yeah,
and they
were hired models.
involved in selling anything.
Paying you minimum wage to be a model.
Yes.
Just standing there.
Yeah.
But they
To
had
fold the shirt.
shirtless dudes standing outside the stores taking pictures of people. It was so insane.
in a mall. It feels so cold.
You would never
Makes me cold.
see
It is.
that
It
now.
is really funny. You just get a migraine walking by from the smell.
Yes.
Just.
Oh well, I remember also Hollister and Abercrombie both. They were so dark inside.
Yeah.
And now
How do you see the clothes?
Yeah, I would need my phone now.
And then
Everyone's got their
music
light
is
on in their
my
phone.
flashlight. Yeah.
the music is bumping so loud because it's to make you anxious and sensory overloaded, and you just buy.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the kids who couldn't fit in there went to Hot Topic, and
Yes.
Or you went to both.
yeah, some people might have been the rare Renaissance person who could shop at both.
I did both. And I did, I mean, oh my gosh, Hot Topic in its heyday, man.
Yeah,
That was a fun experience. I have not been, are Hot Topics around
yeah,
still?
they're still around.
They are, but they mostly sell like anime merchandising and like
and
It's
band
not-
shirts for millennials.
yeah, it's not really easy to find band shirts there.
Like
anymore.
there's like definitely for like Third Eye Blind shirts, and
There's always gonna be like the Blink 182 shirts,
Killers.
Yep.
the
Yes.
My Chem
Yeah.
shirts,
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
things like that. But
so do you
Nothing
think
else.
that they end up making a comeback, Victoria's Secret? Do they re-enter cultural relevance? I don't see them finding a way back to cultural relevance. I think the culture has shifted too far the other direction.
I think that a lot of people say, you know, Rihanna's Fenty line has taken the place of what they kind of forfeited in the
They should have never. I mean,
2010s.
they made a mistake by trying to pander. They should have just
Yes.
stuck with what they were doing.
Yeah.
It might be too late. It might not. I don't know.
It never works when you try to pander. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's always.
I'm gonna wait to see an actual difference. Like when I walk past one of their brick and mortar stores, am I going to see a giant picture of a fat woman? If I don't, maybe I'll walk in. But
Well,
for now,
I
I'm gonna wait to
remember-
see the change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just remember when I was same time when I'm at the mall going to Hot Topic and House and all this stuff. I remember walking by, you know, a Victoria's Secret, and it felt like you are invited to like the cool girls slumber party or something. Like everything
Yeah.
was like, you know, it like fancy dressers to pull out the underwear sizes, and you know, on the wall it's like the big, really super sexy black and white photo of Adriana Lima, and it's like you're in there thinking, oh my gosh, I want to wear this so I can look like this. You know, it's the aspirational thing that we're talking about,
And it's
so
when like there was this unspoken assumption in body positivity that you don't have to look like a Victoria's Secret model to be beautiful.
Yes.
But now it's like you're beautiful no matter how ugly you are.
Yes. Yes.
Which is just total insanity.
To me, it was like, wear our stuff and you'll be you're a Victoria's Secret angel. You know, poof. Like,
There you go.
it
Yeah.
just, it was never like, I don't know. I guess obviously an angel, it
Maybe
makes
it's-
people feel exclusive because they're so beautiful, I guess, or excluded.
Maybe it's because, like, look, when you do that, I guess you look at yourself in the mirror for a
Yeah.
little bit afterwards. But for the most part, you're wearing it to wear it. So you still even if you look at yourself in the mirror, we can lie to ourselves and be like, I look just like the people in these. You know what I mean? Like now we spend so much time looking at ourselves on the phone. You know, whether you're taking selfies, posting pictures of yourself on the internet, you see yourself more. You're not allowed to comfortably enter that delusion for yourself the way you would have been able to do 10, 20 years ago.
When you are in control of your own candlelight and
Yeah.
there's not a phone camera you can quick turn on yourself. It's
Yeah.
like, nope, you are at the mercy of whatever's going on in your bathroom with lighting.
And mirrors are never kind.
No.
Very rarely. Yeah. Actually, and they make like they say the camera adds 10 pounds,
Yeah.
right? And I've heard mirrors add 5 or something like that.
Well, and there's stores too. I don't remember which ones. It might have been Victoria's Secret at one point, but they were like kind of warping their mirror so that women would
Yes!
feel better about themselves in the
They were
dressing room.
warping it so you look like
Skinnier.
slimmed
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. So you're in there like, oh my god,
So insane.
Yeah, it is
Man,
insane.
capitalism rules. Just think somebody had to come up with that idea,
Some evil person at the top of
some
the
evil
company
genius.
somewhere.
and the guy deserves all the raises in the world. Good for him. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.